YouTube? My name is Robert Wicks, and welcome to Wicksology. Now, I'm just going to dive in on this subject because I'm a big fan of Mike Tyson, and I think what happened last night was atrocious. I believe it was bad for boxing, but hey, that's just my opinion. Before I do get into it, if you do like what you see here, make sure you do like, share, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you like the video. It does help out the video. Subscribe if you want to keep seeing my beautiful face. And comment down below because I really want to know your guys' opinion on the Jake and Mike fight. There's a lot of different opinions out there, a lot of controversy. Some people think that it was a real fight and Mike gave it his all and Jake is a great boxer. And there's others out there that are saying that this was scripted, it was bad, and maybe he shouldn't have been in a ring in the first place. But now, for my opinion on this atrocity. I'm a really big fan of Mike Tyson. I mean, I watched most to all of Mike Tyson's fight. Every time I would see Mike Tyson get in a fight in his prime or when he was younger, it was always this destroyer, this lion, this menace to society, this guy that was in the ring, and whoever was in front of him was his food. He was ready to eat. He was ready to kill. The Mike Tyson I witnessed yesterday, I'm not really too sure he still has that in him. I mean, granted, he is a 58-year-old man. He had a knee brace on. It looked like he got winded like very early in the fight. He had a couple good moments. I mean, when he first came out and he hits Jake Paul with that right hook and it sends Jake Paul, backing up a little bit. Reassuring that, man, this guy can really hit hard. And that is when in the fight, I was like, okay, Mike Tyson's about to come out and you know how he come up like that, he back. That's the Mike Tyson that we were gonna get for some reason because of the weigh-ins when he slapped Jake Paul in the face. I'm thinking, okay, Mike Tyson's gonna try to come out and prove that it's not because I'm old, it's not because I'm retired, I'm still a boxer at heart, and I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna knock this kid out. But then the more I kept watching this fight, I don't know what it was. I think it's when Jake Paul threw a triple left hook. 1, 2, 3, and then he raises his arm. I think that's when I was out. I was like, this ain't real. I'm sorry. At the end of the day, for Jake Paul, this was a paycheck, and I think that's what's wrong with boxing right now. The influencers and the YouTubers that are coming into this sport, where I think it was a sport where you had two specimens in the ring, these two people who are going to go at it to the death to prove to you all and prove to themselves that I am the best in the world. I deserve this title or I deserve to win this match. But then you have these influencers and these entertainers, because that's what Jake Paul is. He's an entertainer. He's not a boxer. He's an entertainer. They come into this sport and they say, well, I can make a lot of money off of the fans and off of the sport itself. I mean, I've been reading comments and stuff saying that Jake Paul made $40 million and Mike Tyson made $20 million. And I think that is where the sport of boxing goes down, because now in the future, are these influencers and YouTubers, are all these fights, are they going to be scripted in a way where we can just get two big names or we can get a retired person and a young person to fight, and then the company's going to make a lot of money, they're going to make a lot of money, but it's not really going to satisfy the fans. Now, I would say that Jake Paul is a good fighter. What I saw of Jake Paul yesterday, nah. And he called out, what, Canelo? Like, bro, the world where you see Jake Paul and Canelo get in the ring, who gonna win that? And if we know, we come on. You have Netflix not even being able to stream the event successfully, which they should have knew this. They tried to stream one of their dating shows, and it went bad too. So for Netflix thinking they could come out with all these people trying to get on their live, and it keeps crashing and buffering and crashing and buffering. You're just watching the buffering show. You're not even watching the boxing match. You're just buffering and buffering and buffering and buffering over again. When you have people that are in the crowd that are actually live streaming on their phones to Twitter, and they were doing way better than what Netflix was doing. So I just think the entire event itself was a waste of time. I think it was elderly abuse at the end of the day. You have a 27-year-old kid going against a 58-year-old Mike Tyson that's not in his prime, who had a knee brace, who was wobbly, who was not balanced. He couldn't really follow up with any of his punches. And at a point, he just got stationary. There was no Mike Tyson coming up to you. He was waiting for Jake Paul to come to him. So, I mean, where does Jake Paul really go from here? And that's what I really want to hear from you guys. Where does Jake Paul go from here? Who does he fight next? Because all his opponents so far, except for, I would say for Tommy, which Tommy won, and I would say that's the only, like, the closest to a boxer that Jake Paul has gotten to, and he lost that match. But where does Jake Paul go from here? Does he fight Joe Biden? He has to fight someone. I mean, you fight Joe Biden, you get $1 billion. Go fight the ex-president. You know what I'm saying? Or is he actually gonna prove himself and and to everyone else that he can fight someone younger in his class and win that match. Or here's a number 3. The money he just made, he just sits down and he really doesn't have to prove to you guys anything. He is a clout chaser. He's a YouTuber. He's an entertainer. He doesn't really care if it's good reviews or bad reviews, as long as you're talking about him and he gets his money. At the end of the day, as long as Jake Paul gets his money, he's happy. He doesn't really care. One thing that I will say I did like about this whole event is that Mike Tyson getting $20 million, being able to take that home to his family, take care of his family. He really wasn't hurt in the event. I do commend Jake on that. Jake never really went in for the knockout, especially at the end when he bowed to him. I think that was really a sign of respect. I mean, you can also say that if Jake Paul did knock out the Mike Tyson we saw yesterday, the backlash he would have got trying to brag about, oh, I knocked out Mike Tyson and I fought Mike Tyson and won, that backlash would have been terrible, and I don't even think he would want that backlash on him. But I do like that Mike Tyson, being 58, being retired, not being in the ring and being able to fight like he used to and like he wants to, he still got a paycheck that he can take home to his family. He can take care of his family. That I do commend about the event, and I would say a big thank you to Jake Paul. That is just some of my opinions on the fight. I really didn't like the fight at all. I didn't watch it all. It got to a point where I got tired of the buffering. I got tired of the disconnecting. I got tired of closing my app, opening it back up. I got tired of all that. And I said, you know what? It's not really a fight that I want to be into. I'm going to go do something else with my time. But if you were one of the people that watched it all the way through, if you are one of the people that really enjoyed this fight, I would really like to know why you enjoyed this fight and why you think this fight is good for boxing. If you're one of those people who thought this was a sham and an atrocious event like I did, I also want to hear that from you as well, because I think that there's a disconnect between entertainment and boxing. Boxing was a sport that was held to a high degree, and I feel like all these fake scripted fights and fighting old celebrities and YouTuber influencers is bringing the sport down to where no one really respects it anymore. Again, if you did like what you saw here, I really hope you did. Make sure you push that like button, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel so you can keep seeing my beautiful face and I can keep entertaining you. I mean, you can check out some of my moves, you know what I'm saying? I'm ready to fight anybody. No, I'm not. I'm playing with y'all. Smash that like button, leave a comment down below because I do read all your comments. You know what it is. It's Wicksology, and I'm out. I'm gonna be back though. There's some more stuff that gotta be said.